What's going on? Welcome to another night, Friday night, Friday the 13th, night court. Welcome to another night of night court, Friday night, Friday the 13th. Welcome, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good night. Welcome to the stream. If you're here early, you get a little new feature. I got a mic. Still don't have a webcam, but welcome to the stream. Behind the scenes. Yeah, brand new mic. The computer mic wouldn't work for me. How is the level though? Let me know how the level is. This is the first time I tried it, so you guys are the guinea pigs. Hope everyone had a good week and ready to sit down, get relaxed. I could type all this, which I usually do, but tonight I am just speaking it. So get your drink, get comfy, and check you guys in a little bit. Thank you, Denise. I think we're getting. Oh shoot! Yep. Got all right. Already messing things up here. I got a major echo. Oh jeez. Pressing too many buttons. All right. Thank you. It looks like Denise. I got to log into the phone because I can't see the stars on my computer screen. So I think the stars. Oh man, sorry about that. Sound is good. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for the 50 stars. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully we don't have too big of a delay. I know I'm on the right stream, so I'm always checking that, making sure everything goes on time. I think last night I messed up, or the night before, so we'll see how it goes tonight. But it looks like they're a little delayed. Looks like we're 1 minute behind. They should be launching. So thanks again, Denise. Shout out to Jenny.
I couldn't hear you. There's too much noise.
Richard Ruff.
Oh, okay. Out of order.
No, Your Honor,
That's the victim talking, Your
that
Honor.
was the victim talking.
Okay. The victim on the matter, we asked you to mute until I call you. Until I call upon you.
Okay.
All right. Your name, sir.
Are you
Jimmy,
making-
I'm Jimmy David Dean Laurentine.
Mr. Laurent. I have a number of things here for you. I have charges from October 11th for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass. I have, that's one, so you'd appear, I have charges from June 2nd, excuse me. Fourth of this year for possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass, failing to appear in court. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on April the 10th, failing to appear in court. Possession of paraphernalia on May the 30th, failing to appear in court. Shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia on or about June 18th, failing to appear on the 1st of July. And charges for shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia on July 24th, failing to appear in court. Your bond will be $250. You post the bond, recording it's October the 15th at 9 a.m. You're not possessing of too many alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to return to 1010 North Alvernon, 3910 East 26th Street or 3689 East Broadway. Actually, let me change that attorney. I forgot.
I didn't count how many.
I will be appointed to represent you. Next court date will be a video review on September the 20th at 1:45. They may decide to move that on the status of your other holds. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you.
I didn't count how many charges, but I think it was like
Yes.
over 10. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't keep track.
Your bond, you have a bond of $250. So if you pay it, that's your perfect. So you need. You got my house. Oh, okay. Both of you. Can you get the guy out of the T4? That's fair, overall. There's another chip.
Thank you, Jenny, for the stars. Missed that. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm your name, sir?
Miguel Cruz.
Mr. Santa Cruz. You weren't here out of South Tucson. For shoplifting
Wow.
alleged occurred on February 1st, December 1st of 2022, along with failures to appear most recently on July the 12th.
Oh yeah, I was incarcerated.
Where were you incarcerated then? Because you weren't in Pima County Jail.
Oh, I wasn't when what I guess I think that's when I got out on bond. Around that time.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
I'm looking at the wrong, hold on. I think that you have been in custody since then. There's two, the wrong file, my phone. So what happened with whatever had you in custody?
Today I went to court. I got released on probation today. And I guess they didn't come to release me, and then they said I have court, and that's why I'm here, wondering what's going on, because I got released on probation this morning.
But that was on your, from what court?
From Superior Court.
I didn't know.
Egypt.
All right, your next court date in South Tucson City Court. You need to be there. Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm gonna be on probation. I had to follow my orders.
Okay, it's gonna be October the 1st at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
You won't go back to the store involved in this, and I can't tell you where that is because I don't have that information.
okay,
You need to comply with probation and no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
yes,
All right, thank you.
Am I getting released?
Yes, you will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll get you on the next break.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Anthony Francisco Almazan.
Petition is charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 2 counts. Excuse me, 1 count of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 1 count of disorderly conduct, 1 count of domestic violence assault, 1 count of assault, 1 count of domestic violence criminal damage.
Oh, there it is. Your Honor,
Yes.
criminal damage, that's my house. It's like I pay rent and I'm under the thing.
It's still somebody else's property, not yours.
Yeah, but oh yeah, you're right. Yes, ma'am.
Just for the court's information, he does have any.
Right, Mike, what? What?
Your next court date on this is going to be next Wednesday, the 25th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond is $750. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Alicia Marin or the other victim in the matter. No firearms or weapons. You don't go to the victim's residence. My understanding is she is not going to remain at the residence. However, in Greenwich law is appointed to represent you. You do have an adult probation hold, so even if you post the bond, you're not going to go anywhere until probation finishes.
All right.
Court proceedings. Right?
I got a question.
Okay.
Last time, I caught some misdemeanors too, and I was on probation, and you guys released me on pretrial services.
Not on misdemeanor.
And
And you've got an
oh,
adult probation hold, so I can't release you anyway.
oh, and another question, and I got assault charges. Nobody got touched.
I'm just telling you what the charges are. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you again, everybody, for the stars. That was amazing. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good Friday night.
Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette, and you are
Laura Curtis.
Curtis. Warrant here out of Nogales Justice Court. On a shop.
Yes.
If I give you a court date, are you going to show up
Yes.
September 27th at 8:30 in the morning in the Nogales Justice Court? For sure you appear this time. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Take a seat out there. Romo.
Good evening, you sir are
The Romo?
Mr. Romo. Warrant here charging you failing to comply with court orders. Underlying charges are violation of a court order. Your next court date is going to be on Tuesday, the 17th at 10 a.m. Bond is $2,499. Jack Lansdale is appointed to represent you.
Oh. It's just like that.
Thank you, Mr. Romo. All right, Mr. Ruff will be next. Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette, and you, sir,
My name is Nicholas Ruff, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruff, that is charging you with domestic violence criminal damage occurred earlier today in the vicinity of your residence. The victim is on the line. Mr. Ruff, did you wish to be heard on conditions of release, not about the facts of the cases, but just whether or not you want contact, you want him to return or not return?
Yes, I don't want to have contact at this time or release to me. He's not to come here until I get a full mental evaluation from him and it's clarified where I understand he's not a threat to me or my property here.
Your next court date is going to be the 9th of October at 10 o'clock in the morning in the Marana City Court. You understand?
Okay.
You can be present at that time. No acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with your father. You don't go back to his residence or workplace. You can go back with a police escort to obtain your personal belongings.
Okay.
You also need to obtain behavioral health, mental health assessment and begin any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ruff.
Thank you.
Couch.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shayad, and you are?
Michael E. Couch.
Mr. Couch, I have charges here that go back to November 21st of 2022.
Yes, Your Honor.
All 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 1 count of contributing to the dependency of minors. And failing to appear in court on more than 1 occasion.
Yeah, I actually went and reset my court case recently earlier this year, and then I ended up checking myself into a rehabilitation facility, and I couldn't get transported from that rehab to the court date, so I kind of missed it, and I just haven't gone to reset it, and they pulled me over this morning for no headlights.
In the
That's
4 months since your motion to quash hearing. But you
Yes.
previously failed to appear on.
Yeah, I went and completed a rehabilitation program in that recent 4 months. And I did that before I went to rehab. That's why I missed that court date. My intentions were to go and get that taken care of.
Well, your next court date on these is going to be September the 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. City Public Defender's Office is reappointed to represent you for the 3rd time. Bond is $999. No alcohol or liquor drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Ms. Newman. You don't go near her residence or workplace.
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Couch.
Go ahead, straight down upstairs. Robinson. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sit down.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Lucius Robinson.
Mr. Allen. Petition to revoke probation. Alleging You failed to cooperate in program counseling, that you tested positive for methamphetamine, that you had contact with the victims without approval, and that you failed to attend a review hearing. We'll reappoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $2,500 cash. Court date is October 2nd at 1:30. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the victims. You don't go near their residence, workplace, or schools. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
We'll see out there. Yeah.
See, we got Jenny again. Thank you, Jenny, for the stars. Deborah, thank you for the stars. Appreciate it. Also, see if I added a new shirt. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts. If you guys like the shirt, let me know. I just posted it up about 30 minutes ago. So let me know.
There are
Silverio Solís.
Mr. Salai, petition to revoke probation on misdemeanor charges. We'll reappoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $999. And your next court date will be September the 23rd at 1:45. But you also have a felony petition to revoke pending. All right, thank you, Mr. Salai.
Last one.
Toro.
Good evening, I'm Judge Tate, and you, sir, are
Vincent de Rotoro.
Mr. Toro. Petition to revoke probation alleging that you didn't sign up for home detention and GPS monitoring as ordered. We'll reappoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $2,499. You post the bond, your court date's October the 1st at 9 a.m. If you haven't posted the bond, you may be seen next Friday at 1:45. They may wait to see what happens with your felony probation before that. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Thank you, Mr. Toro.
Okay. So yeah. Picture where go.
Your Honor, please waive reading of the charges in this case.
All right. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Jesus Rivera.
Council has requested that we waive reading. Did either council wish to, will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges? And did either council wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for a $100,000 bond based on the nature of the offenses, based on the risk the defendant posed to the community. He is facing mandatory prison time. He does lack significant community ties. Your Honor, the class of victims, for those reasons, we're asking for a higher bond.
Anything from the state? Or from defense?
Your Honor, he's a 1 on the FTA and the NCA scale because he has no criminal history whatsoever. He does have community ties. He's lived in the community for 10 years. He it has a job interview that he'd really like to be able to go to next week. I'd asked for the court to impose a lower bond based on the lack of criminal history at $20,000.
Preliminary date September the 23rd at 1:30. Bond is $75,000. You post the bond, you'll be in a situation of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No internet usage. No contact with any minors. You're not to go to any parks, playgrounds, schools, or daycare centers. You also need to engage in a behavioral health assessment and recommended treatment. And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone other than your attorney, except in the course of assessment and treatment. Thank you, Mr. Rivera.
Thanks, Rivera. Go ahead, go straight down. Thank you. You don't have that right there on the other side. Yes. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Daniel Ballesteros.
Ballesteros, in a complaint charging you with domestic violence, aggravated assault in pleading,
Yes.
breathing, or blood circulation. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, the city is asking the court to consider the risk to the victim, the continual risk, including the Form 4C, which indicates a high risk. The charges are also a high lethality associated based on the charges, even though the victim does seek ongoing contact and does not object to the release. The state still feels that the victim is at risk and a bond should be set.
Anything further from the state, from defense?
Yes, Your Honor, he has no prior felony convictions. He's lived in Tucson for 10 years and has ties, 30 years and has ties to the community. He's currently employed, as the state mentioned. The victim is not objecting to his release. I'd ask the court to set the bond at $5,000.
Preliminary hearing date September 23rd at 1:30. Bond is $10,000. You post the bond, you'll be in a situation of pretrial services. No acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or drugs, no contact with Ms. Carmelo. You don't go near her residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Ballesteros.
So what do I do from here now?
Do I step out?
Yes.
Bobby? Downstairs. Yes.
Your Honor, please waive reading of the charges for this case.
All right. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Mr. Maron. I have a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court. I'll honor their bond of $1,500 on that matter. You also have a probation revocation warrant from Pima County. So they won't be able to pick you up until after that matter is cleared. But we'll set a review hearing for October the 14th at 9 a.m. to see the status. I also have misdemeanor warrants. Shoplifting charges from today. And shoplifting charges from, looks like April the 8th of last year, along with failures to appear.
Stay away.
Steven.
All right, it's me. Stay up. Take it away. Want to stay here? Then stay away.
We'll appoint Grigowich Law to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $100. You post the bond and you're out of custody. Court date will be October 14th at 9. If you're still in custody, we've set a review for September the 20th. Based on the status of the felony probation revocation, they may decide to move that court date. So you don't go back to Walgreens or to 1625 West Valencia. Do you understand that? All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Front. Through the door, down the stairs.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Michael Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Interim complaint charging with possession of dangerous drugs, possession of paraphernalia, misdemeanor charges of driving on a suspended license, and criminal littering. Dismissing the spirituous liquor in a motor vehicle. There's an empty container. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, he's lived in Tucson for 52 years and has ties to the community. He currently has a stable housing situation. I'd ask that the court set the bond at $2,500.
Have you looked at the state's recommendation?
Yes,
Have you?
I thought it was $10,000. Is that not the case?
For Mr. Rogers' pretrial service
Oh,
with the smart
My bad.
hearing.
then in that case, I'd ask that you follow the state's recommendation.
Your next court hearing is going to be a week from today at 9 o'clock, excuse me, a week from Monday, September 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning in Pima County Superior Court. It's what we call a smart court hearing. Do you understand that you need to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, counsel, instructions have been, shall we say, less than crystal clear on cases that are noted as being smart, but not necessarily steps eligible in terms of extended PH dates. What's your understanding?
Your Honor, based out of custody, we asked for defendant to waive the preliminary hearing as a step hearing.
To
And he'll
wait-
have time.
To continue to extend the PH date?
Yes, Your Honor.
What we're talking about there, Mr. Rogers, is that the court hearing that I just told you about next week is part of a program that could result in a reduction or dismissal of the charges. But it requires extending court dates and your compliance with the program. I need to pull up a calendar here, so take me just a moment. All right, so I'll set preliminary hearing date right now for October the 30th at 1:30. Do you need to comply with pretrial services? You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Rogers.
You already know that. Sooner. But stand up.
Hope everyone's having a good night. Let me know in the chat if you think it's gonna be over or under 8:30.
All right, good shit. That
Let me know in the
Yeah, you can
chat.
sit down. You're next.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Magici Sonia.
Mr. Sonia, interim complaint charging with aggravated domestic violence. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommending higher bond of $10,000 with pretrial services based on the continued risk to the victim. He does have a history of violent assaultive behavior, and the main concern, of course, it will be the defendant has an extensive criminal history, both involving the misdemeanors and felonies. He is facing mandatory prison.
And Your Honor, he's lived in Tucson for 52 years and has ties to the community. And he currently has stable housing situation. I'd ask that the court set the bond at $2,500.
Straight down, please see.
Preliminary hearing is going to be September 23rd, 1:30. Bond is $7,500. You would post the bond, you'll be on the supervision of pretrial services. Beginning right now, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no contact with Mr. Morrison. You don't go near her residence.
That's doing every day. They have concerns. I have heard that.
You can go near her residence with police escort to get your personal belongings. Out of custody, you need to comply with behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment as recommended and directed. Thank you, Mr. Senior.
All right. Sir. Sir, go ahead and stand up, go ahead, go through that door, it's downstairs, and go ahead and sit down.
All right, jail, I need you to stay on. Looks like we've got Aho on there as well, but this way council can be heard. And Denitza, this is the one we're gonna need you for. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Buenas noches, señor. Soy la juez Chayet. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Alfredo Gaitán Capetillo.
¿Cómo dijo?
Alfredo Gaitán Capetillo.
Alfredo Gaitán Capetillo.
Mr. Capetillo, I have a warrant here out of Ramsey County, Minnesota.
Señor Capetillo, tengo una orden de aprehensión de Ramsey County, Minnesota.
These are charges that are alleged to have occurred in April of 2010.
Son cargos que supuestamente ocurrieron abril 2010.
¿Cuándo?
When was that?
April of 2010.
Abril 2010.
Tengo 16 años en México.
I was 16 years in Mexico.
These are charges of possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine, among other things.
Esos cargos son posesión de cocaína, posesión de metanfetamina, entre otras cosas.
We'll appoint the legal defender's office to represent you on these charges.
Le voy a nombrar.
In the presence of an immigration hold, does either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Se le va a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente. Your Honor, did you say there is an immigration hold or not?
There is.
Hay una detención de inmigración. Señores abogados, ¿tienen algo que decir?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for the court to honor the warrant.
Su señoría, pedimos que su señoría honre la orden de aprehensión.
As noted, defendant is a fugitive from justice and has been on abscond status for over 14 years.
El acusado es un fugitivo de la justicia y ha estado escondido por más de 14 años.
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Es todo, gracias.
Anything further from defense?
¿Algo más por parte de la defensa?
Yes, Your Honor. He has no prior felony convictions. He's a 2 on the NCA and the FDA scale.
Su señoría no tiene ningún delito menor, delito mayor previo. Es un número 2 en la escala del NCH scale. And what else, Kamsa?
FTA.
Y la escala de FTA.
And this does appear to be a warrant for a nonviolent drug offense. I'd ask the court to set the bond at $5,000.
Y es una orden de aprehensión por drogas, no por un cargo violento. Pediría una fianza a su señoría de $5,000.
I think I will honor the bond set by Minnesota at $25,000.
Voy a honrar la fianza puesta por Minnesota de $25,000.
Thank you, Mr. Capetillo.
Gracias, señor Capetillo. May I be excused?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you, Judge.
And that's all for tonight, council. Unless you've got something I don't know about.
Thank you. Have a good night.
There we are. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good night. If you can, follow that new channel. I almost got 10 new followers on the new channel. It's called My Buddy News. Also, thank you, everybody, for the stars. Excuse me. And I will check you guys in the morning. Have a good night.